Mantsopa, directed by Dr. Jerry Mofokeng, is a significant theatrical piece that aims to revive the legacy of the late Basotho prophetess Mantsopa, who played a crucial role in Basotho history. The play seeks to reinsert Mantsopa into the history books, shedding light on her contribution and influence.
Black women, prophets, they were never seen to be of significance. That's why they were not written about, recorded about. I had a meeting with Greg and I had a working session with Makgetha, and we went through the script and pulled it apart and put it back together. And we just sat down and say, actually we know that we're talking about Mantsopa. Why do we want to disguise that? Let's tell the world this is a play based on, inspired by the life and the times of Mantsopa. And we settled for that. There's a brief capsule of Mantsopa. Somebody born in the 1790s. As a little girl, she is into song and storytelling. And there is an old woman called Mantsopa who has been very good at those, but now people think, no, but this girl is better than her. So her name is Koenadi Fule, but that goes away. She becomes known as Mantsopa. As a teenager, she gets taken prisoner of war by those who were fighting against Moshoeshoe, and they ran away with her. And then somehow, when relatives come by, she disappears with those people and runs away. And then the song and the story, and then the running away, and then she grows up. When Moshoeshoe goes from Butabute to Tababusiu, she's part of that nation. I think people might not fully appreciate the magic that this space provides. The floor, the taps, the lights, the sound, just to have the wind blow from the sound desk. All that just lets the play gets under your skin. Even I still get shocked and get goosebumps. But that's the magic of theater. The first major prophecy about Ntwaya Tihela, fear food. And when that comes through, 3 weeks before it happens, she prophesies about it and it comes out. And then that gets her the reputation, and then comes 1824, 1831. And she predicts about the white people and the missionaries coming into Lesotho before they arrive. She sees them as butterflies, and she talks about these butterflies and all these things. The power of the well and the cave of Mantsopa carries on. And yeah, Mama says it right. If Mantsopa were alive today, she'd probably be Archbishop Mantsopa with a school of prophecy. It's good that now, after 20 years, before we got to the 30, we're beginning to tell our own stories and reflect on ourselves. When you go home after watching this play, is there a Mantsopa in you? Is there a Tolwana in you? If not, how do you handle the Tolwanas in your life and the Mantsopas in your life?
I can sing. I know I can. Oh, Mantsopa, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for me.
My name is Lebohambanyani and I play the role of Mahato.
My name is Leomile Motsetsela and I play the role of Tolwana Makgetha. I haven't really been practicing as a theatre practitioner for at least around 10 years, since I was in university. So when I got the call to audition, something about it, I was just like, this is not a coincidence that the first play that I am actually being commissioned to come and audition for is Mantsopa, the first song on my first album. So it's very full circle, and I do feel like her story has been pursuing me.
It's interesting, but beyond pursuing her as a lover, Mohato stands as a mirror for Tulwana to say to Tulwana, look, you don't have to run away from who you really are. This is your gift. You need to embrace it. So playing the role of Mohato, trying to help Tulwana discover herself and accept the gift has been really good for me.
It's interesting because I actually do feel a lot of similarities and parallels between Tulwana's story and my own. When I started music, music came to me very accidentally. I was trying to be an actress, believe it or not, and then music pursued me. So there are similarities that I feel like I can draw from my own life story, but also it's forcing me to deepen in my practice and my surrender, because now I am channeling the spirit of this great giant of a woman who's singing through me, and it's not just my voice. I am trying to capture that bigness. So it's very interesting, but I do think it's an expansive journey.
That Nkgono Mantsopa was one of a kind. I know that Nkgono Mantsopa played a big role in the life of Moshoeshoe as a king, Morena Moshoeshoe leading the nation of Basotho. You would discover when you come watch the play that there are some predictions that Nkgono Mantsopa made just before Morena Moshoeshoe would go into war, and Nkgono Mantsopa through her gift would see the outcome of the battle. So yes, Nkgono Mantsopa is one of a kind that needs not to be forgotten in our history.
To begin with, I don't think we were told much about her. I read about her in my history book, and it was very little. It was probably 2 paragraphs or something. It was in passing that she was mentioned, and I think it's very interesting that that little 2 paragraphs actually stayed with me, because it wasn't much. And a lot of people, Basotho people, if you ask them, don't really know who Mantsopa is, especially the younger generation. So it's not a tale that is repeatedly told to preserve her memory, which is why a play like this is important. Yes, there's elements of it that are fictional, so it's not like a biography of Nkgono Mantsopa, but it is definitely an attempt to preserve that legacy, and it's very important.
Accurate, 100%.
Lebitso la ka ke Florence Masebe, ke bapala mme wa Tulwana ka playing ya Mantsopa. Honored to be included in a story so powerful, a story so important. Me Mantsopa, Nkgono Mantsopa, she's an ancestor. Ali, a very significant part of history of Basotho. Yet, because of this tendency that we have in society, in this very patriarchal society, we tend to gloss over the women figures. And if we don't erase them, we just remove their wings and make them a little insignificant. So being able to be a part of the telling and the magnifying of the Mantsopa story is putting it into yourself as an actor. Daily. Humanati, there's a confusing thing when you're a linguist. So you speak this and you speak that. So for the last month, ke operate from my Sesotho frequency, without allowing too much of the other languages that are in my head to interfere with the work that I have to do. The process is easy. My mind knows what it knows, so it knows that I speak all these languages. But because I have a script in front of me that is in Sesotho, and I have Basotho around me throughout in the company, Ribua Sesotho, therefore it's not as difficult. Enunciations are not a problem. The problem is when every now and again utlaretzena instead of kena, and every now and again how tlabu Afrikaans and haribui se Afrikaans mona. So the bad habits of daily language, so that we can try and be as truthful to Sesotho as possible. Asking a question to people to say, do you know Nelson Mandela's mother's name? Do you know Chris Honey's mother's name? Do you see what I'm talking about? We remember the men as if they fell out of nowhere. So even the ones we honor, we don't even remember their mothers. There are women who are not important because they were somebody's mother. They're important because they were themselves. The Mantsopas, the Mantatitsis, the Mujajis, the Mkabayis. These women are themselves. Their chapters in history are big and significant. Yet it's so easy to make them look like they were a sideshow. They were not a sideshow, they were the main act. I'm hoping that Batho ba tla tsamaya mona one, having celebrated Basotho culture and heritage, because we are telling the story through song. But secondly, I hope that people leave here barely challenged to go and look for more. One, about Nkgono Mantsopa, but two, about other significant figures that we deliberately leave in the back rooms of history because they just happen to be women.